No bound, no bound, no bound, no bound, no bound, no boundary, no bound, no bound, no bound, no boundary, no boundary, no boundary, no boundary, no boundaries,
Go, 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 go.
no bound, no bound, no bound, no bound, no boundary, no bound, no bound, no bound, no boundary, no boundary, no boundary, no boundary, no boundaries,
Go, 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 go.
no bound, no bound, no bound, no bound, no boundary, no bound, no bound, no bound, no boundary, no boundary, no boundary, no boundary, no boundaries,
Yes, sir. What up, what up, what up, party peoples? No
What's going
boundary
on? How you doing?
Yeah, I had to switch up, man. Why you still in my
Yeah.
vibe?
Hey, I was thinking the same thing. He didn't want
Yeah,
y'all to
man.
be at the same place.
Yeah, I had to
Well,
switch up.
I can change it up. I just I had
Oh
to find
no, you
something.
good? You can
You
stay in the
know,
vacation home today.
He
I
trying to
hear
show
you.
you up, homie. He trying to show you
I
up,
see.
homie.
I see. It's
Yeah,
all good.
you can stay in the vacation home today.
All right.
Yeah, we good.
Oh man.
Hey,
Yeah, funny.
man, welcome, ladies and gents. The No Boundaries crew up in here.
Yes, sir.
Fellas, the fellas are
Going on.
back, man. The fellas are
Come on,
back.
man. Talk to me. You know what's funny? Last week's podcast, I was looking on our Facebook and we had people commenting all through that thing. They was following along and just commenting as we go, man. So
So
shout
what
out
were
to
they
everybody
talking
watching,
about? Z
man.
Money?
I mean, they were just, commenting, amen, and that's right. and just to I love our topics, I think that it hit home. You know what I mean? It hit home for a lot of people, man. So yeah,
Okay, all right.
yes,
Well, I
sir.
mean, everybody that's on Facebook now, you can see us live.
Yes,
Hi.
sir. Yeah. What up though?
Yeah.
And comment for us, maybe not on Facebook, but if you can, well, they'll have to do it on Facebook. And maybe we'll shout you out real quick, man.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
right.
most
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, I'm running it. I'm running it on my phone now. So hopefully I'll catch a couple of them and I can tell you if I see a comment or something and let you know.
Cool.
Oh, perfect. 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 All right, ladies and gents. As always, let's get the formalities out the way. If this is your very first time joining us, we truly appreciate you rocking with us. We do this every Monday evening live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. All you got to do is follow No Boundaries _ JMO. Hit that follow button so you can get notified every time we do go live. And you can also join the conversation and be part of the show, man. We truly appreciate it. Once again, I'm Big Pee Wee. That's Zaid. That's Juan Fuego right there. And always, I mean, it's just guys, just fellas, just having barbershop talk about all kind of things, man. And
Yes, sir.
I want to start the show off with something that we post. We have our own chat, and we
Mhm.
post stories and clips and stuff like that among ourselves. And so I wanted to start off with this one clip that I thought that piggybacking from last week's show, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna piggyback, but I like this clip though.
Okay.
Russell Barkley said that the people who need the most love ask for it in the most unloving ways. And
So true.
the commitment I've made to myself is I no longer want to ask for love in unloving ways. I want to communicate about the type of love I need in an open and honest way rather than trying to hope that someone else is going to figure it out because I'm sending subliminal messages or I'm being distant or I'm avoiding them. Russell Barkley said that
Yeah. Yeah. Homie, do you want to go first or shall
He
I?
biting at the
You can go
bit right
first.
now. You see him?
You know, yeah, 'cause,
No. You can go first. You can go
You-
first.
it's one of those things like we talked about. In today's time, I have a lot of issue with this male. People are saying this toxic masculinity thing and all this stuff. I think that we are confusing or downplaying or discrediting the complexity of being a man. And I think that a lot of times people are just like, man, you got to be strong. You got to fight. We're the hunters and you got to kill. And it's like, that's not true. You know what I mean? I think there's a time for everything. And I think in this world now, if you're not making this kind of money, you're not a man. If you're not doing this, you're not a man. And it's like, listening to that is a perfect example of what we do daily, or what men think, or what people think that being a man is, that you have to put up this facade, because I really think it's a facade of being strong and showing his strength all the time. And the reality is we need to be vulnerable. We need to show emotion. We need to be loved. We need to show love. Like, all of these things are part of being a man. And I think today's time is just so much trash out there that are showing our young men that if you're not doing this, you're not this. And it's just like, to me, that's not necessarily true. And to what he was saying, if we could add that to a relationship, those are the kind of conversations you have where something might come up and your girl or you might go off and they're like, yo, hold on, where did that come from? And I think it's because you haven't expressed yourself, or you aren't able to express yourself fully. So it comes out in a way that not necessarily you wanted to, but after the fact. Now, once tempers, go down, now people could sit down and be like, okay, where did that come from? What are you feeling right now? I think that that's a big part of relationships and marriage, or relationship spirit, is checking in on people, checking to really see how are you doing. And I think that I don't want to say it will alleviate a lot of that, because people will still, it takes some time to get to that part where you could be vulnerable, even in marriages. And I don't want to speak for Juan, but even 14 years of marriage, there's still those times where, like, hold on, like, what are you dealing with? Is that about me, or is that about something else?
I think a lot of it really comes down to, as he said, right, it's communication. People take a lot of things for granted. People take a person's feeling for granted, and not necessarily like they're doing it on purpose. It's just, There's a difference with listening to someone and hearing someone.
Mm,
Oh,
You can
absolutely.
listen, you can listen all day, right?
yeah.
But are you really hearing what I'm saying?
Mm, good.
Because if you're hearing what I'm saying, you'll hear what I'm asking for, what I need. And it's
Mm,
not about, oh, well, a lot of times, even if you express it here and there, right? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't do that. I don't need you to be sorry. I need you to change what's going on. Or what's
Hey, I don't need you to be sorry. Ho, be careful. I'm sorry. I just had to get that out.
right? I need the change. I need you to hear what
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to have the same conversation over and over and over again.
Mm,
Right.
mm,
So yeah, but I think that we harbor, especially men, right? I think that we harbor things, we keep things in, we don't express them probably as we should.
yeah.
But on the other hand, when you do express them,
Mm,
depending on who you're expressing them to and what
come on.
feedback you get,
That's good. That's
it's
good.
that's where the blow up comes. So wait a minute.
Right. Mm, mm,
It's okay for you to do, have XYZ,
mm,
but when I need it or when I'm looking for
mm,
it,
mm.
it don't work like
Yeah.
it don't work.
That's good. What you thinking, P?
I'm gonna play the clip one more time because if people are just joining us, I want them to know what we are talking about. So I'm gonna play the clip one more
Okay.
time, and then I'll go into it.
Russell Barkley said that the people who need the most love ask for it in the most unloving ways. And
So true.
the commitment I've made to myself is I no longer want to ask for love in unloving ways. I want to communicate about the type of love I need in an open and honest way rather than trying to hope that someone else is going to figure it out because I'm sending subliminal messages or I'm being distant or I'm avoiding them. Russell Barkley said,
I find it very interesting because I'm gonna piggyback off of a lot of what you said, Z, and a lot of what you said, Juan.
Yeah.
Because when I look at this and I hear this clip, right, we can all agree, no matter what, a friendship, relationship, a marriage, it doesn't matter, even at work,
Mm,
communication is the key.
yeah.
You got to be able, as a grown adult, to be able to do the best that you can to articulate
Mm,
how you are feeling.
mm,
In doing so, you can't articulate and express to somebody how you're feeling with anger, with an attitude, is because as some, not all, but some, is going to give you that same energy back.
mm,
Kind of like what you said, Z, on
mm,
the end of like, if you come at me a certain kind of way, I'm gonna give you that same energy coming back, and then I'll
mm,
be like, "Yo, is that about me?" Then
mm.
now we on a second conversation because
Right.
the first one you could have asked and said, "Hey, is this about me? What's going on?" But
Right.
9 out of 10 times, that person ain't gonna go there because
No,
you didn't
they're
already
not.
gave me that negative energy. So now
Yeah.
I'm coming back with that same. So
Yeah.
now we got to figure that negative energy out first,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
come back on the second end and be like, "Was that about me? Did we just go
Right.
through this? And was it?"
Right.
So we do have to take the time to communicate. That's number
Right.
one. Number two, I think that also is finding the right person.
Mm.
I think you get a good idea if this person is the right person for you. If
Mm.
you can communicate with them and understand, they're understanding.
Mm.
They understand, okay, Juan, this must be a bad day for Juan today. Let
Mm.
me kind of because they
Right.
know you.
Give them a
You know,
minute. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
they,
Yeah.
you know, and,
Right.
and so, and at the same exact time, in knowing that person, I also feel like whatever I express to you, 9 out of 10 times, it might go over your head. I get it because you're not in my head. You're not thinking and
Right. I
feeling
know.
what's
Yeah.
in my head,
Yeah.
you know, and I may not express it or communicate it, the way that you get it the first time. I get that. You
Mhm.
know, because come on now, how many times have you guys told somebody something and then they turn around and repeat it to you and be like, you looking at them like, how you didn't get it the first time I said it?
Right.
Yeah, like if you tell Juan something and he don't get it, the face he makes is like you ain't gonna ask the question again. You know what I mean? Because he make you feel some kind of some kind of way. I'm just saying, like,
Right.
hey.
So, in that person makes you feel comfortable and you feel comfortable in explaining it again and breaking it down so that they can understand, or just saying, hey, give me a second, let me get my thoughts together, let me get this together, and then we can have a
Mhm.
conversation, and that person be like, you know what, all right, babe, whatever
Right.
you got to do, I'm over here.
Right. Because if you aren't able to articulate yourself, it could come off way wrong, and it could come
Yeah.
off like attacking the person. But one thing while you were talking, Pee Wee, and I was listening and trying to hear you at the same time, is y'all
come,
stupid.
come
No, no,
on,
no. I'm dead serious. But I think that that's a learned behavior. If you are raised, or you are in an environment where your voice is heard, and you're able to express yourself, when you are an adult, it'll be much more easier for you.
oh,
You know what I mean? Because
100%.
I think that most times, um, sometimes when our kids say things, or even when we were kids, it was like, "Oh, shut up! You don't know what you're talking about," and that was the quickest response from our parents, and I find myself doing that sometimes too. But I think that if we really let our children, whether we want to hear it or not, just articulate themselves, even if I'm gonna say no, that's not smart or bright, but
Right.
just let them get that off their chest. When they get older, they'll do that. Perfect example is this: our family, Pee Wee, you family, but you've been around me and Juan's like immediate family. We go in, we showing affection. You know what I mean? You come in, you got to kiss all the aunties, all the cousins, you giving dap to the uncles, hugs, whatever, whatever. For Trina, that was a big thing at the beginning. Like, damn, like y'all do, like y'all show this kind of love and affect, and it's like, yes. But if
Right.
you haven't grown up in that, that's one of the things that can draw some back. Like, whoa, like, or even as a man, like we're talking about, like he was saying, things that he's gonna stop doing. If he was raised, I'm not saying all people are like this, but if he was raised in an environment where his voice was heard, there was love being shown, physical or verbal, I don't think that he would have those kind of things that are going on right now as a grown man.
No, 100%. I agree with you, and you're. We've talked about this before on the show, that childhood trauma, right?
Mm-hmm.
you Everyone here is not excluded from childhood trauma. We all
Right,
have baggage coming into whatever situation that we coming into, right?
right,
And if you are comfortable in your skin, and again, you come from that environment where people are listening to you and stuff, or you come from that environment where you don't get that, right?
mm-hmm.
Now, and you talk about your wife Trina, right? But at least she had the good head on her shoulders to say, you know what? Because some folks would be like, oh, this is too much for me, I'm out, I ain't
Right,
used
right,
to
right,
this,
right,
I ain't gonna get
right.
that,
And
that
it
ain't
takes some
me.
time. It takes some time for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, yeah,
But it'd be like, nah, I'm good, I'm out.
right,
But she was like,
Right.
nah,
right,
I dig this. This is
right.
what I want. I like
Yeah,
this.
for
And
sure. Yeah.
so now it's open arms. And like you said, it's a day by day, it's a process, because again, it's childhood trauma. It ain't gonna turn
Right,
over overnight,
right,
you
Right.
know. And but I
yeah,
think it does take time. But again,
yeah.
like Juan, you are 26 years in marriage. Z, you 14 years in marriage. There's a lot of things over the time that you guys have learned, you
Yeah,
failed, you
yeah,
learned again, you
for sure.
failed, you learned
Right.
again.
Well,
The roller coaster.
and unlearned. There's some things you got to unlearn too.
Right.
You know what I
And,
mean?
and it's always a continuing process, and as you said, a learning process. I mean, Because as life goes on and people are who they are, right? But still circumstances change, which means life changes. That same person, Kim's not the same person that I married 29 years ago, right? And you know, I tell people all the time, I don't ask her to do anything that I know that she can't do. That's unfair to her, right? So if it's something that I really need, and I think she might be reluctant to do it, I'll say, Kim, I really need XYZ, right? And she'll know that it's something that I need. But other than that, I'm not going to ask her to do nothing out of her realm of possibilities, because that's an unfair expectation for her to do, and for me to sit there and expect her to do it, right? I know her. I know what,
and you'll be frustrated. You're gonna be frustrated and off of something that you know. You know what I mean?
I already know. You know what I mean? So it's like you said, knowing who it is that you've chosen, but still at the bottom line at the end of the day is the communication. That line of communication has to be open. You have to be able to talk. You have to be able to discuss. You have to be able to even agree to disagree. Doesn't mean that you have to agree on everything all the time, but understand where I'm coming from, and I gotta understand where you're coming from, right?
Well, I'll tell you this though. I'm sorry to cut you off, but even with that, I've had to learn that, because I was more of a like, let things go, it's okay, you know, hey, no issues, no drama. And it's like, nah, like it was some stuff that I've let slide, even with people, friends, family. Like you let so much stuff slide, and it's like, hold on, time out. Like, are you taking advantage of me now?
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and that's the crazy part, because when you do start to, and I don't want to say speak up for yourself, but call stuff out, people don't know how to deal with it. You know, they like, hold on, what's up with you, Z? Like, and I'm like, no. I've just come to the point, like my man did. That's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna let you keep doing that. Or when you call it out, it's like a big deal. Like, hold on, what's wrong with Z today? You know, and it's like nothing's wrong with me. Like, I finally realized that this is something that I'm not going to let happen anymore.
Right.
Whether it's and it doesn't have to be something that's so like detrimental or anything like this. Just little simple things. Even at work, I've done that, and people are like, it catches people off guard, because they might say something, and I'm like, so what you mean by that? And they like pause, like they don't even know what they meant by it. Not at all. So now they come up with this, and I'm like, yo, I didn't mean to catch you off guard. I'm just saying, like, you say that a lot, and I usually just roll with it, but I need to know what you mean by that. But again, that's that. Like I mess with Juan and my wife and you know, people about being, you know, kind of some assholes. But I think that in life, like, you've really got to do that. And I don't even think it's just being assholes. It's really just speaking up and communicating and letting your voice be heard.
Absolutely. I'm with you 100% on that. Now, kind of going back, both of you guys married. I'm the single one. Juan, 26 years. Z, 14 years marriage. What's your guys' thoughts on this?
Men need affection. Men need attention. Men need affirmation. We needed hugs from mama. We need a dad to hug us too. And most of us didn't have that. And it bleeds into our context. Either you go to two extremes. Either you shut down the need altogether, or you become hyper driven by this need for affection. And that's why so many men are crazy and sick.
Absolutely.
And you think it's just because he want to hump on you all day. Men are nasty. Men are dogs. No, it's because he never got affection. And to him, this is the only acceptable avenue for a man to meet his needs of affection and closeness. It's sex.
Hey, that's some good stuff.
So,
man.
I mean, I think this chimes into what we were talking about last week as well, right?
Yeah,
I think it's 100% true in the statement of men needing love, affection, and like I said, I think I even said it last week too. It's not always just the sex. It's not. Well, I can only speak for myself.
Yeah, I'm about to say, speak for yourself because I'll be ready.
Hey, so
I'm just saying.
but Juan, but Juan,
I don't be ready. I
But
said it's
Juan.
not all of yes.
I
but
got you.
if it's not all about the sex, what
Mhm.
else is it then?
It's the like you said, it's the affirmation. It's the
Yeah.
feeling wanted.
Yeah.
Just the affection. It's not. It don't always have to be sex. When I come into the house, give me a nice tight hug. Let me know that you missed me today.
Mm,
You know
I
what
like
I
it.
mean?
I like it.
That would go a long way. That'd go a
Yeah.
long way.
Yeah. I
A
think it
long
goes
way.
back to what we were saying before. It's not just about the sex, but if this is like he stated, maybe you didn't get that affection from your mom or your father. So it goes back to our childhood trauma. A lot of this stuff goes back to that. And if you listen to people and you let them talk long enough, most of the things that you're going through is not something that just started out the blue.
Right.
You know what I mean? But again, if he got those hugs, if he got those, those things from, his dad or his mom or things like that, you wouldn't have, and I'm not saying you wouldn't have those issues because you never know. But
Right.
like for him, it's that kind of thing. And then most men, per se, maybe go about it as far as the sex part. And it's like, oh my God, you just want it all the time. And it's like, well, maybe that's how it's coming across. But now we're going back to what my guy said. It might come across that I want sex all the time, but maybe I just want some kind of affection.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you this, because since you guys are married,
Yeah.
26 years, 14 years of marriage. Now you guys don't have to answer this question because I don't want to get either one of y'all in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay. But do you feel that you get enough affection in marriage? Do you think that being married you should get more affection? Are you getting less affection? Like when marriage was in that honeymoon state, that the first year to the first 5 years, was you getting all the affection that you wanted?
That's good stuff.
And
I'm gonna
then
let Juan
after
get in
that,
trouble
did it
first, Doc.
fall off? Like,
Let Juan
So
get in
for
trouble
me,
first.
so for me, I don't feel like I get the affection that I would desire. Right? I don't think that it's enough. But I've also expressed that, right? But for me, you have to put things in kind of perspective, right? So we initially get married, and I think it was maybe 6 months into the marriage, she's pregnant. Bam, right?
Wasn't
Then
playing.
second
I
kid
heard
You
that,
comes,
wasn't
Juan.
playing, baby.
Didn't waste
You
no
wasn't
time.
playing.
Dang.
Yeah, hey, no
right?
time. Ain't no practicing nothing. We in the game, baby. Let's go.
So
Game
the
time.
second kid comes, right? Bam. So now we're enthralled with all of the running around for the kids, doing all this for the kids, right? They graduate, go off to college, empty nesters. Now we are starting all over again and don't know what to do, right? It's almost like we're finding our way back to each other all over again in a different, older, lightened realm, right? So we ain't rabbits no more. Right? I mean, it just is
What
what
do
it
you
is.
mean,
Right?
Juan?
You better go get that ginseng, Juan.
Yeah.
What they got, the Bluetooth now? Bluetooth?
I mean, yeah,
What
it's
did you
just
call him?
it's
Hey,
and
Pee Wee, when you
I don't
looked to
know-
the left,
I
I
don't know
thought you
what
was
kind of
about to
this
grab a bottle. Pee Wee, I thought you was about to grab a bottle and show everybody, dog.
Hey, I
Like
ain't
but I
Pee
there
Wee
mean,
on
yet.
that Bluetooth.
I ain't there, but hey, I will tell you this though. I
listen,
do have
look at
that
me.
triple ginseng though.
Oh, look, that's that OG.
He
I
said,
do have that
triple.
triple ginseng.
Right, the triple ginseng.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's just the evolution of life, man, and just understanding where a person is, then you throw in any health concerns that either may have. There's a whole gamut of stuff, right?
Right.
I'll tell you something else that's a big thing, is the trauma of grief. When somebody loses somebody that was a part of their life or whatever, they go through this grief period. They go and that can be a time frame that's different for everybody, right? You don't know how that affects one person versus another person. So there's a lot of things that comes to this that is just part of life, right? And it's all about, like I said, communicating, getting an understanding where this person is. I heard somebody say, I saw a clip or something. It was this couple at a couples therapy, and they went to two separate therapists, and both of those therapists said that they needed to schedule sex time, right? So they said, "Oh, did you do that order?" And they were like, "Yeah, we scheduled it. We got the babysitter and everything. We had plans to go, but we were tired, so we didn't go." They said, "Well, did you have your sex schedule?" "Well, not when we scheduled it. We waited a couple of days and we ended up, and it was cool or whatever." So then the guy was like, "Oh, well, what's the issue?" Whatever. He's like, "I just stopped trying because I was tired of all the excuses or whatever." And she said, "It wasn't that I didn't want to. It's not that I don't want to." She said, "But I'm not comfortable with myself." And that's something totally different, a whole different frame thought for me.
Right.
Has nothing to do with him.
Right.
It's me. And if I don't feel comfortable with myself,
That's good.
then I make him happy.
That's good stuff.
Right.
Good
And
stuff.
I was like, I'm thinking, I'm like, wow. Right.
Yeah.
Like those are things that you don't even think about. Those are things because is she now saying, all he wants to do is just hit. So just go ahead, whatever. You don't care. I don't care. You know what I mean? But all of those things are factors. There are factors. And you never, let me ask you a question. Do you ever ask her, hey, do you think you feel it? That's not something that's in your mind.
Nah.
Right.
But
Right.
that's
Facts.
facts.
That's facts.
So Juan, because most women, and just speaking up on like some women that gain a little weight, right? Have kids, they gain weight. They may not feel comfortable in their skin, and and especially if a guy isn't being sexually expressive to them. Oh, baby, you look good, or smacking her on the butt, or hugging her and stuff like that. After a while, like she's like, man, like, am I losing this? Am I losing my mojo? I'm not feeling it. You even got guys. I mean, that's why you got these pills popping off everywhere because guys can't get it up. And so now they embarrass and they don't even want to try now. They, like you said, he may be making excuses because something ain't working. So you're right. It's not normal. People don't ask.
Right. And it's like you said with you don't know what a person's thinking, but it goes back. It's crazy how all this stuff goes back to communication. Like, but how can you express that I'm not feeling sexy? How can you express that I'm not, feeling myself? But to answer the question, it goes back to, like, I go back to what Juan was saying, in a nutshell of, is it the same when you first got married? I think it's just like cycles. I think it's like life happens. Like, I think that there's going to be good times. There's going to be highs. There's going to be lows. There's going to be great times where it's great. There's going to be times where it's like, yo, what we on? It's going to be times where it's like non-existent. You know what I mean? And it's just the reality of it. Life happens. But again, we can't get caught up. The older I get and the more I look at stuff, I look at like things, especially like on social media and things like that, like people are not showing real life. Like, even when you see these married couple and you see the hugging and the loving and and I know you can't do that, but show me when y'all motherfuckers arguing.
Right.
Show me when you didn't want to come home. Show me when you sat in the car for the 10, 15 minutes before you got out thinking, okay, I have to go back in the house. You know what I mean? Show me that. I would respect that more than just the lovey-dovey all the time, because that's, to me, that's just not real life, bro. Like, it's not going to be like that all the time.
Right.
But like Juan said, it's just, I think it's just the cycles of there's going to be good, there's going to be bad, and in different times. But if you're able to express, that's the one thing that me and Trina have been able to do as we've gotten older in our marriage and in life, is like try to express those feelings to each other. Are they always heard? Maybe not, right? Both sides, me and her, right? But we are doing a better job at expressing ourselves. And I think that that's, again, a learned thing coming from me, where it's like I said, I'm more, laid back, I'm gonna chill, where Trina is just like, she in your face, and just like, hold on, you know what I mean? Like, but being able to, how, and I say this respectfully, but it's just like people that could dish it but can't take it.
Right.
So if you're going to be this and I was more this, when I'm this, I need you to, you know what I mean? What they say, keep that same energy.
Right.
Yeah. I need you to do that.
Let me ask you this, Z,
Yeah.
since you brought it up. Did you and Trina sit down and have a conversation with one another and say, hey, like, we need to be more expressive to one another?
I think it's funny because we'll wake up in the morning and sometimes we're up before we got to start our daily days, and we just have conversations, man. And they just happen organically. They happen organically, but then it could just lead to somewhere. It could lead to politics, religion, the kids, her. It's crazy. And it happens, it's not like we set that time. But literally we could wake up in the morning, she be there, good morning, whatever, boom, boom, boom. She already up. I go in the living room, and then she just be like, I had this on my mind. And then we just go at it. And next thing we know, we be like, God dang, we got to get these kids ready. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't think it's a necessarily setting aside that time. It just happens. But have there been times where we like, okay, hey, tonight we need to, I need to talk to you. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, of course. I don't think that you get to a certain amount of years in marriage or just through marriage period without being able to do that.
Yeah, it's tough.
If you do, I don't know how that relationship is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's tough. If you can't have those type of situations like you just described, it's going to be tough, right?
Yeah.
Me and Kim are the same way, right? We'd be down in that garage, I'm smoking on something and watching TV, and we'll just spark up something, or she'll say, hey, and then we could be going, dude, for like 2-3 hours just
now,
straight conversation.
Mind you, ladies and gentlemen, he's talking about cigars.
Hey, hold on, man. Weed is legal, man.
No, I didn't want nobody to feel like he was down there on the pipe. So he smoked a cigar.
Yeah, I'm not talking like that. I ain't talking like that. So yeah, but that, like I said, and I've told both of you guys before, the basis for us has been the communications. We've always been able to talk about everything. But like I said, that don't mean that she don't get an attitude with me. Don't mean that I don't get an attitude with her. Don't mean that we ain't walking around for a couple of days not saying nothing. But then when we get past that, though, right? It's like
back to
we back to talk. We was into it last week a little bit, and then my son had a game and he played really well. Bang, bang, bang.
That's
just
enough.
That's it.
Right.
Then when we got to talking about him and what you know what I mean? But it just is what it is, and it happens, right?
You know what, homie?
Do you guys believe in, because Juan said it, like it'll go a couple of days, we'd be like, eh. But do you guys believe in never going to bed upset at one another?
Upset?
Believe and do are two different things.
Facts. Because
right? I think you should probably hash it out, right? If you could. Yeah. But sometimes that conversation might not be good at that point.
Hey, let's be real. Sometimes one of us is gonna be petty and be like, I ain't talking to that. and I ain't talking to her. Yeah, I ain't talking to him. Hey, go keep it like that. And let's just keep it real, dog. That's the truth. That's the truth.
That and you know, my tongue is sharp, and I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. If I'm going for the jugular all the time.
You ain't right.
All the time. I'm going for the jugular.
And that's another thing. One thing that I learned from my pastor at the time when me and Trina were getting married is like, there has to be, and this is perfect what we're talking about. Like what they say, you gotta fight fair. Like this is your wife. And I know, Juan, you go for the jugular, and I know that's just a figure of speech, but it's like with the wife, there has to be some things, or there has to be some kind of boundaries. You know what I mean? And I think what you're saying is, correct me if I'm wrong, is I know my boundaries. So therefore, I'm gonna just go to sleep.
Yeah.
If we keep talking, it ain't gonna work out. You know what I mean?
No,
But I think,
I get what Juan's saying. Like I got a sharp tongue,
Yeah.
but my sharp tongue is my receipts.
Okay.
It's the receipts. Like I got facts behind what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because and I'm with you, Z. Like you know your boundaries. You can't have a sharp tongue and start lashing out at wifey, because now it becomes on either end, male, female. Now you disrespecting the person, your significant other, because now you feel, and it, believe me, they're out there. There are folks that's out there that the disrespect, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's just part of our relationship." Well, that really shouldn't be part of your relationship.
Well, I'll tell you this. One thing that my dad told me before I got married was like, he was like, "Listen, you never call a woman out her name." Because that, it's some things, even regardless of that, a woman out her name. But there's just some things you just don't say to people, because some stuff you can't take back, dog.
Right.
Even as much as you would say, "Oh, you forgave them, it's over."
That's
it's
not
still
true.
in your mind, dog. What's that?
That's not true. You can't take it back. Some things you say you can't take it back. You can't take any of it back. Once you say it,
it's out there.
Yeah, it's gone.
You can't take that back at all.
Can't take it back.
So, but yeah, and it's like you said, right? That's the reason that I'll go to bed not patching it up with her, because I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't want to go there with you. You're not the one that I need to be going there with, right?
Facts.
You know what I mean? So so that I don't get to that point, so that I don't, just let me go on and.
Right. Yeah.
I'm with you. All right.
But Pee Wee, at some point, the conversation is gonna have to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's right.
But I think the best time is when things aren't as escalated or heated, and we both had that time to really think about what we want to say, and be able to, like we said before, articulate that in a way that it doesn't defend or put the other person on defense.
So who's supposed to bring up the convo then, G?
Well, well, I ain't gonna lie to you. I think most of the time it's me in my relationship. In my relationship, we're gonna talk about it.
But I mean, like, okay, so say for instance, she does something to you, and you like, "Hey, give me a minute," right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And that minute is like a day or two.
Mm-hmm.
Are you supposed to be like, "Hey, let's have this conversation," or kind of goes back to what you said before? We get into our petty ways, right?
Yeah.
Are you waiting for her to be like, because you want that you want her to be like,
yeah.
Come on,
listen,
Come on, I would be to ask again.
Listen, I would be lying to both of my brothers right here if I didn't tell you that sometimes I'd be like, I ain't gonna say nothing. Okay, we just gonna be chilling, and I ain't saying shit. Days, are you good? All right. You taking a kid? All right. Am I picking a kid? All right. Yeah, I would be lying if I didn't do that. But again, that's me doing that on purpose to think that I'm hurting you. And in most times, guess what? Trina ain't thinking about me.
Hold on,
She already over it. She already over. She already doing something. You said
Is
give
it?
it, man. So I thought you was done with it.
Come on. It's
I got
just
this
like
one
when you
for you,
get into
Z.
it with
Z.
somebody. It's like when you get into it with somebody and you be just hot and they just living their life, dog.
Z, I got
You
this
know what
one
they
for
call
you.
that, right? You know, hold on,
What
Pee Wee. You know what they call
they
that,
call
right?
that? What's that?
Living in your head rent free.
Oh, facts. Oh, man. I got that bad, dog. I be saying all kind of, listen, I got movies up in my head. And
Yeah, I ain't got
I'll
no
be
vacancies.
waiting.
I ain't letting motherfuckers up.
Petty, 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 petty,
Hey,
petty,
petty.
petty,
It ain't right, dog. It's facts.
petty,
And I think, see, this, is it a whole song?
Yeah.
Hey, but for real, I like, in all honesty, I think that we all have been there. We've all been that. Like, I ain't saying nothing. I'm gonna let her say it, and then we get to it. And it's just, but again, that's those cycles. That's that, up and down, the ebbs and flows of a relationship, dog.
I mean, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
because I know, even though we joke around, every once in a while, yeah, we all get petty every
For
once
sure.
in a while. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And yeah, even though your significant other, you love them to death and stuff like that, there are times it's like, yeah, I'm gonna be the petty one in this. I'm gonna be the petty one in here. I'm gonna have to take this one, but I'm gonna be the petty one in this.
Yeah,
For
sure.
But the great thing though too is, and for both of you guys both have two women that truly love you, because like Juan, you said it, and then Z, you said it. Juan, you said, well, brother had a basketball game, did real well. Y'all might have been at head, but that conversation, it was like over and done with. We back on the same page now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You even said it, Z, like, you gonna take the kids? I'm not picking up the kids, and y'all back on track again.
yeah.
Like, without having that conversation, without saying,
Right.
hey, I know we
Right.
were supposed to talk the other day. Do you want to talk now?
Yeah.
Well, hold
Yeah.
on. You didn't want to talk last week, but now you asked me about the kids, who's picking up this, the other.
Come on now.
It could get into
Yeah.
it, But again, going back to having the right person that's by your side,
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought this was a funny clip to a certain degree, because do you guys feel that some women are like this? And I already know what your answer is because we just discussed it.
That most married women don't like the sex they are getting from their husbands. I'm gonna just let that marinate
Just
real
like
quick.
that. Don't hurt their pride real quick. Yeah.
All these dudes out here talking about my wife won't do this, my wife won't do that. The average woman is not satisfied with the sex that she is receiving from her husband.
Why is that?
Because this dude doesn't even know what she wants and is too lazy to find out. And all of his sexual information is usually coming from porn and not from communication with her. That most married women don't like the
Now, we just discussed people not being comfortable in their skin.
Yeah.
You discussed the clip that you saw about the two people going to couple therapy and stuff like that because of things that's going on in the relationship. Now, here's an added point to this is because some people literally get with somebody and they don't know their significant other.
I've got to cut you off. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm in trouble, God. Hey. Oh, dang. And it might sound crazy. You could correct me if I'm wrong, Warren. You don't stay married that long if the sex is bad, bro.
I don't know, Z.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But maybe I'm speaking to myself because me and Trina have had this conversation. Because I've asked, like, is it me? I've asked the question.
I don't think that that's a true statement.
Okay. Maybe that's my truth. What they say, that's my truth.
But I think that they will stay married, and probably will cheat, depending on what else you bring to the table.
Right. That's what I was going to say. The same thing, Juan. Yep.
Right? Okay. If you're not taking care of the household and helping out with the kids and all of that, and the sex is bad, then yeah, she's probably gonna leave. Okay. But if you taking care of the household, you involved with the kids and all that, and she just not getting it back, she probably gonna dip out a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I think what this guy, I think the point he was trying to make was, now you got the wife, you may be getting sex on a regular basis, and you're just happy with just getting the sex. Are you making sure that she's being separate? Are you doing the things that she like? Do you even know?
Right. Yes, I heard that part too. Like, do you know what gets her? Yeah.
Do you know where the spot is, dog? For her?
Talk to me nicely. Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hello.
So, yeah, and I said this last week too. If I'm not, and you don't tell me I'm not,
come on now. Right? Hello.
And then you go out and you didn't tell me that I wasn't doing X, Y, Z.
We got problems. Yeah.
That's a problem.
But see, this is what I'm saying. I think that when you, and you didn't do it, then that's on me.
That's on me. I mean, what do I expect you to do?
Right. And like I'm saying, for me to even ask Trina, like, is it me or do you like? Because I've asked the question before, like, hey, we good in this? Like, what we on? Like, do I need to go get the Bluetooth? You know what I'm saying? Do I need to? What you want? You know what I'm saying? But for real, we've had, it's crazy. Like the more we talk about this stuff, the more I'm grateful for my wife. You know what I mean? Because I look back and I think like, damn, I could really be myself, if that makes sense. I could really like, and I hate to say this like that, but like it says, ebbs and flows. But I've never had a thought of like that maybe she would take what I'm saying as being less manly. You know what I mean? Or asking those kind of questions of like, dang, like you insecure, like you like it's never been that kind of thing when I've asked those questions. But like he's stating, like if you don't know that about your wife, if you don't know what gets like I told y'all last week, oh, you find all the time. Every time you walk by me, I need to touch it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Oh, you beautiful, baby. You fine. Ain't no other dude gonna tell you that more than me, Doc.
Right.
It gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. You understand what I'm saying?
And then he even said at the end, and which is kind of sad, but true at the same exact time, that a lot of guys get how to please their women through porn. Mm-hmm. And porn is not really teaching you those things of how to make sure that you satisfy your women. I mean,
I wish I would try some stuff I saw on porn with Trinks. Let me choke you one time, slap you or some shit. Let me see how that works out.
We got problems.
Hey, seriously, low key, you do the wrong thing to get you in trouble.
Facts.
It'll mess up the whole entire mood.
Come on, man. And let's be real. Or if you've messed with somebody in the past that was a little more aggressive, that could mess you up too. You know what I mean? It's crazy how this stuff works because it's when we talk about trauma, bro, it's childhood trauma, it's adult trauma, it's all this stuff that you're bringing into this relationship that you are trying to get two people with trauma and trauma to say, let's stay together.
Right.
How wild is that? So when you hear 26, 14, 10 years, our cousin's Juan's sister, my cousin, 10 years of like that is not that's like having a child. That's like having a healthy child. That is a true blessing because you could have a kid that has Down syndrome or all this stuff by just some little, it ain't no big thing that make your kid, pretty normal. So when you hear these marriages, it's like a big thing. When you think about all the things that two people are bringing together, bro, like past relationship trauma, whether that's sexual, physical, mental, all of whatever, and add abuse at the end of that.
Yeah.
And you trying to get this family together, it's a blessing, bro. For real.
It's so funny that you say that though, Z, because a while back, I was talking to this young lady, and everything was good. Like I was like, okay, like good vibe, everything's solid, right? The more and more I'm talking to her, the more and more I'm like, man, you have a lot of childhood trauma that you were dealing with. And then over time, I kind of felt like, wow, man, I'm becoming like your therapist when we talk.
Wow.
Like this is not about like us growing and stuff like that. It's like now I'm becoming like your therapist. I'm helping you trying to deal with your childhood trauma. I'm helping you deal with certain issues in life and decision making and this, that, and the other. And it's kind of like now we take the focus off of us trying to get to know one another to me dealing with like your childhood trauma and trying to help you out and make you better. And then it became like, wow, man, like, you know.
And you know, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I kept ignoring like the red flags, and then finally one day it became a situation was like, you know what? I saw it. I'm done. You're done. I'm done. We're good.
You know, what I was going to say was a lot of times what happens is you come across somebody like that, you help them through whatever, and you know, so then they kind of start being dependent on you, and they look at that as love instead of you guys getting to know each other. Now you Captain Save-A-Ho.
Right.
You know, and she all in love with you because you've shown her this affection, you've shown her this understanding, you've shown her, you know, how you wouldn't be or do the things that so this is everything that she's been looking for, but y'all ain't compatible in no other way.
Right.
Don't like nothing, you know what I mean? So yeah, you got to be very, very like you said, you gotta check those red flags. You got to check those red flags.
And seeing a lot of folks see red flags and turn those red flags into yellow flags.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is, Z.
My bad.
But they do. Some folks turn those red flags, which are red flags, and turn them into yellow flags. And be like, oh, it's not that bad. Oh, no.
Right.
You know, but in actuality, no, it is.
That's good.
That's not.
No.
Like, you need to look at that. That's a serious situation.
Yeah.
You know?
Because we can't listen, we can't change people that much, dog.
No.
Not at all.
And if you think you can, something ain't right. You know, and if you gotta do that much, then is it really working? Or are you gonna have to spend the most of the time in a relationship dealing with that and trying to make that work every day?
That's it right there, Z. That's it right there. That's it.
Yeah,
man. That hour went by pretty fast, man.
Question, real quick. Did you guys happen to see that clip? I don't think I sent it to you guys. They talked to like 10 women, and the question was, would you if you were messing around with a married dude and he never told you no, would you want to stay with him or your own dude who told you no 45% of the time?
Yeah,
it was only
a
one
lot of them girls was saying,
it was like,
I'll mess with the married man.
Yeah, I mess with them. All of them, 9 out of the 10 was like, I'll mess with the married man because I don't want to be told no.
Right.
That's all cap.
This is what I'm saying.
That's all cap.
Who do they be picking? Where do these? You gotta be going to like the club. Again, like I say, a lot of these clips and stuff now on social media, bro. This can't be real life, dog. Like the girls that be walking down the street getting in the car with the dude all the time. And it's the same dude.
No, that's a setup.
And it's the same dude. And she be like, so what you gonna do for me? He be like, what you mean? Well, if we gonna date, you gonna have to pay my bill. What are we doing?
Right.
Yeah. No, now some of them, Z, are setups. Some of them are actually real.
Listen.
I've met the guys. I've met the guys.
Okay,
so some of them are setups.
Yeah.
Where they actually get IG models or whatever. and they
Okay.
have them on the show. Then others is depending on where they are, they set up and they actually get random women.
That's crazy.
But yeah,
Yeah. Like the girls in the cars at the gas station. Like, see the dude trying to talk to you, he go get in the Porsche or something. And it's like, okay, hold on. I don't have a boyfriend for real. Like, where does this stuff happen?
yeah.
Because when I was single, it wasn't working. Well, I ain't had no Ferrari or nothing anyway. So shit, maybe that's what it does.
Hey Z, you get a car like that, everything changes.
Listen,
You can put them in the stanza.
listen, hey, Barney, let me tell you something. I was pulling him in the stands, though. Hey, you know what I'm saying? You stupid. In Trepid 2, in the family car, I had to.
Yeah, I remember
I'm
those.
rolling around in a family car. I was single like a mug. It's all right. It worked out. Yo, stupid.
All good.
Oh, man.
Ladies and gents, if you guys enjoyed this episode, man, please
Yes.
make sure that you guys share it
Please do.
with your family, your friends. Tell them to rock with, the No Boundaries crew, man. I mean, this is just our opinion. Just fellas just having barbershop talk about everything underneath the sun, man. And we just have fun doing it, just chopping it up. And hopefully, we help some people along the way, man, or spark
Yes,
a
sir.
conversation along the way where you guys can have water cooler talk at work and then, bring us up. You heard it on the No Boundaries show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, but yeah, please make sure that you guys follow us, share, like the whole shebang.
Please.
We'll be back next Monday live here on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook.
Yes, sir.
Any last
Peace
words,
out.
fellas?
Hey, man, peace, y'all.
Yep. Peace out.
Oh,
Have a good
that's
week.
it?
Yes, sir.
There it is. Where am I at here? There we go. All right. Peace out.
Peace.
Peace.